So I'm currently walking down from the river, from the town quay, and the town quay is at Newton Abbot. And when I've walked down, I've done a lot of walks around sort of Newton Abbot, Dartmoor, right the way down Teignmouth, Dawlish, Exeter, Exmouth, and leading right the way up to Lyme Regis, I believe now. Plus I've done all the way down to Cornwall, down to Loo. So I'll have some next stages of walking coming up to put all over YouTube, and I'm going to put it all over Facebook and Instagram, and these videos that you can watch. Now what we're going to talk about today, I live in a town called Newton Abbot. Current population from Newton Abbot, it's around about 26,000 to 31,000 roughly. That was what was last recorded in the Victorian era of Newton Abbot all them years ago. It hasn't really changed much from that. Back then was 26,000 to 24,000, so it really hasn't bumped up in Newton Abbot that much. And also we have in Newton Abbot we also have the South Devon Railway. Now the South Devon Railway is known all over the country. Started as a steam railway in 1846 with a diesel locomotive. Also famous for Newton Abbot races. Everyone will know Newton Abbot races. I'm pretty sure everyone's sorry, I'm looking down here because I have tracks and rivers that I'm tracking down, so I am looking down a fair bit to where I'm walking. So anyway, that's come off of course of what I was talking about. So yeah, Newton Abbot was famous for the races. Newton Abbot has quite a big race course, very popular with people. Loads of people go to it. So I'm going to do a bit of history around Newton Abbot. In I believe it was 1820s, I believe, to 1858, if memory serves on those dates. So the Dartmoor Way they used from Dartmoor to take granite off of Dartmoor. They then took it down to Stover. From Stover, which I believe from Dartmoor was like 15.9 kilometres. And what they used to do is bring it down on old granite tracks that they built. And these old granite tracks, they can be widely seen up on the Templars Trail. And when you follow the Templars Trail up from Newton Abbot, heading up towards King's Staton and that section, you'll find those granite tracks. They go up through woodlands and go up through to Dartmoor. Now when they come down from Dartmoor, they used to grind up the granite into blocks, stick it on horse-drawn carriages. Sorry, this sun is bright. Horse-drawn carriages, and then they would bring that down into Newton Abbot by town quay. And when they would get to the town quay, it would then get put on boats. And when they stick it on the boats, it used to take out on the estuary. And from the estuary, let me just show you. So from the estuary, which would be here, this follows the estuary down, and like I said, just a bit further down from here, there is so from the Lemmon it opens out here onto the estuary, and this is where it got shipped out from down here. I'll go a little bit further down this path and just show you where the mouth of the estuary opens. And I believe that's where so from where the town quay is, probably the granite got delivered onto ships or some sort of biggish boat or bigger boat, and then it would get shipped out from there down to this area here, what I'm coming to now. So the area I'm coming to now, you're looking down over there is Bishop Stainton, and on the other side is Coombe Cellars, and obviously it heads down that river there. They exported the stone. It descended 1,300 feet by tramway, all done, as I mentioned, by horse, and it was drawn by the canal basin. I believe the granite from Dartmoor was used to create part of London Bridge. I'm just going to turn the camera around. Yeah, I believe the granite was, as I said, used part of London Bridge and built that part of London Bridge. I don't know how true that is. I've not done a huge amount of research, but I do believe that that granite, like I said, probably was shipped from the Newton Abbot town quay, and from there it was thank you. No, it's fine. It was then shipped down and out to sea, and then when that went down out to sea, it probably went up the Thames into London Bridge and built London Bridge. So there's a bit of information for you. Our granite from Dartmoor was or is built by our granite, and I think that's a bit of a history lesson for you of the River Lemmon and Dartmoor surrounding areas. Here's a better view of the river. As a kid I used to go fishing along here, and there's the motorway bridge that comes across from down from Exeter and goes into Newton Abbot and Torquay and down the Brixham and all that way. And yeah, I've spent a lot of time on this river kayaking and walking, so yeah, it's a bit of information for you, and I just thought I'd make a little video about it for you all to see on my channel. And obviously I'll be uploading this onto my channel later on, and I would like you to chuck some comments into this video just to see where you'd like me to go with it. Some ideas would be great. Obviously I'm new to YouTube and posting videos, so it's gonna take me a while to get used to it, but bear with me. I will start editing, and I'll end up doing some cool videos for you, and I'll be walking around with this camera. I have the Osmo Pocket 3, so a lot of my videos will be coming from this, and obviously the equipment that I'll be carrying around with me, I have the Nikon D850 camera with a Sigma 600mm lens. I take most of my photos with that. Sorry, I'm looking down again because of the old rocky paths. So yeah, I will be using that camera to take every single photo, and every single photo that I've ever done will, well, whenever you go on my channels, if you're on like TikTok, Facebook, Instagram, whatever you're on, when you go on my channel, which is the walking photographer, when you go on that channel, on those channels, you'll see literally all of my photos, everything that I've ever done. Again, like I said, I've walked long distances. Just recently I did Westward Ho to Paignton. That was 68 miles from when they were telling us when we first started, but because we got lost, it ended up being about between 80 and 92 miles, we believe. We think our signals went out a bit, so it might have been a bit wrong, but yeah, we did that. And then explaining from the other bits that I've done, I've walked from Westward Ho down to Paignton. That was one of them. I've done right the way up from Lyme Regis down to Seaton, and then from Seaton I've also walked right the way down to Exmouth, and then from Exmouth I've walked all the way up to Exeter Canals, headed right the way up into Haven Banks, and then from Haven Banks I've walked all the way along the coastline there through Dawlish, Warren, Teignmouth, and then come up over from Teignmouth to Shaldon to Newton Abbot, and then from Newton Abbot I've done all of the coastline, pretty much basically from the model village all the way down to Torquay, across to Paignton, from Paignton all the way down to Brixham, and then from Brixham I've walked all the way down to Dartmouth, along that coastal path, and then from there I've gone right the way down to Plymouth, walking all that coastline. Just a few of the places from there was like Dartmouth, Start Point. Some of them were loops around the countryside down there, like from Kingsbridge, Nos Mayo. So I've done a hell of a lot of walking that way. I also did Bantham and down further. And then when I got down that way towards Cornwall, I did from Mount Edgecombe, and then I walked, I think it was about 25-ish miles, 26 miles, something like that, right the way down to Looe. And obviously from there now, from there, I'm going to head down to, basically I'm going to head down to Land's End, and I've started video logging all this from now. Most of it, what I've done so far, has all been kind of like the last 2 years building up training and walking and understanding how to map things and where to walk and how to do it. So, and now I've bought this equipment, and this equipment's going to help me log most of the stuff that I do and where I go. So obviously when I take this with me, I'll be heading along the coastline with this camera, and thank you. And when I get down that way, after you mate, so when I get down that way, I'll get this camera out again and show you some of the areas that we're going currently, like along the River Lemmon. So wherever I go from there on, and from now on, now I've got this camera and equipment, because obviously this equipment is a bit expensive and does cost money. So now that I've done a bit of a charity walk, like I said, 68 miles, walked the coastline, a lot of training by myself, just doing it for myself, and now I'm bringing you along with me. I think eventually we'll go back and video log some of the places that I have been and done, but again, a lot of those places that I've been on my photos, when you go on Instagram, you'll see every single photo of every single area that I've ever done. That was obviously when I was just using my camera. Like I said, bought a Nikon, got really interested in photos and photography, and then decided to go with the old videos. And now that I've introduced the videos to my channel, I'm pretty sure, or pretty certain, we'll get a few more follows and likes and shares and get a bit bigger on my channel. And from there on in, or there on now, we will get the camera out, take the camera gear with us, and we'll go down, right down to Land's End, and I can take you with me wherever we go. And I'm sure you're, like say, walking along those cliffs down at Cornwall, it'll be right interesting stuff. There'll be loads of stuff to see, and obviously when I'm doing it and taking the video, there will be like names, places, and like I say, we can give you those locations to where we're going, what we're doing, what we see. Obviously I'll put the photos up on one channel, probably my Facebook and Instagram. Those photos will go up with little captions of where it is, and then we'll add in these little videos, and when we add these little videos in, you'll get to see exactly where I've gone, how I've done it, and when I've done it. Just the current view at the moment of the River Lemmon. That's going down the river where I've just walked a little bit to chat with you guys, and then heading right back up the river there, look. beautiful area to love coming down here. So like I said, bit of a history lesson, bit of explaining who I am, again, the walking photographer. My name's Chris. As I said, a little bit of a chat just about what I'm going to get up to, what I'm going to do next, and you'll be able to walk with me. And again, any questions, anything you want me to do, anywhere you want me to visit, anywhere really around Devon and Cornwall. If you guys want to me specifically to walk anywhere, and when I do that walk you want me to give you location, we can use that what 3 words of how to get there. I can tell you that, tell you how many miles it is, and we can make conversation about it. But like I say, feel free, comment on my video. Like I said, my next challenge will be from Lou heading down to Land's End, and then when I do that I'm going to visit all the different areas, show you all the different towns, video log everything, and that'll go on my Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, for every all family, friends, and all of my followers, and you'll be able to, as I said, come along with me. Okay, I'm going to end this video here. Thanks for watching. Go like, subscribe and share. Get me out there, guys. Cheers. Bye.